Howard gets it in, but it's knocked away by Lexie Hull. Hull with the steal. And the Indiana Fever, beset by major injuries all year long, are on the doorstep of making the semifinals.
Let's be real. This was a gut check. Win or go home. 6 players missing. Still frustrated over blown calls, and absolutely no margin for mistakes. Could the Indiana Fever take all that pressure and deliver? In Game 3 of the WNBA playoffs against Atlanta, they did just that. Kelsey Mitchell went on the attack late. Aaliyah Boston owned the paint, and Lexie Hull made the biggest play of her career. The Fever stepped up and reached the semifinals for the first time since 2015. The only question now, was this just a one-off spark or the start of a new era in Indiana? Let us know in the comments.
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to.
Think about it. Nearly a full decade without winning a playoff series. That kind of drought doesn't just sit in the record books. It weighs on a franchise, on its fans, and on every player pulling that jersey on. The last time the Fever were here, Tamika Catchings was still the heartbeat of the team. Natasha Howard was just started her journey, and Stephanie White was in her first go-around as head coach. That was 2015, and the league itself looked completely different. Fast forward to now. Game 3 wasn't just basketball. It was...
We talked about the desperation before Game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win or go home situation, there's desperation. And so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
What made this even tougher was the state of the roster. Caitlin Clark out. Sophie Cunningham sidelined. Sydney Colson unavailable. Chloe Bibby, Ari McDonald, DeWanna Bond are all banged up. That a massive chunk of scoring and experience gone. Suddenly, this wasn't just another playoff night. It was a survival game with whoever was left standing. Nobody outside that locker room believed they could pull it off. But with no expectations weighing them down, they had no choice but...
This one on Lexie Hull got me riled up because this was early on in the game, and this was probably the best defense that Lexie could have played. If you watch this play here, Ryan Howard is going down, Lexie Hull's guarding her, Ryan goes behind her back. Lexie doesn't touch her because she's backpedaling the whole time. She has her hands straight up. Like, this is really good defense that Lexie played.
And don't forget how Game 1 unfolded. Phantom whistles, momentum-crushing calls, even a technical on their coach. The frustration was obvious, and everyone watching could feel it. The Fever didn't let that go. They carried that sting into Game 3 and used it as fuel. This wasn't just about advancing. It was about proving...
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
Let's see. Driving to the foul line, and the paint lays it in. Sims crossover left to right, gets into the paint, layup, good!
Inside, Boston.
Even before tip-off, you could see it in their demeanor. Kelsey Mitchell looked calm, locked in, like she already knew the scoring load was hers. Aaliyah Boston spoke softly but carried a quiet confidence, fully ready to battle inside. Meanwhile, Atlanta came in fully healthy, feeding off their home crowd, and everything seemed tilted in their favor. The arena was rocking, ready to shut Indiana down. But the Fever weren't just staring at Atlanta. They were staring down nearly 10 years of frustration, half a roster missing, and every doubt that's been thrown at them. And in that moment, they made their choice, fight instead of fold. Which brings up the real question. Could individual moments from their leaders finally flip the script and turn waiting
to Jones. Throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving!
Game 3 delivered that answer. Down late, the Fever found themselves in a pressure cooker. Fewer than 4,000 Atlanta fans made it sound like 40,000, and every possession felt like it carried the weight of their season. All the injuries, all the adversity, it all boiled down to those final minutes. And Indiana didn't break. They leaned on the players who've been carrying them all year, and one by one, those players
picked up her second foul, so Hillman and Gray each with 2. Mitchell over the Boston screen.
And that was tough, her hands. But going back to that ball screen here, little movement in the first part of that screen by Aaliyah Boston.
Mitchell, man, she is.
Kelsey Mitchell was a heartbeat. Atlanta threw everything at her. Crowded the paint, sent extra defenders, tried to smother her touches. But she still put up 24 points, 19 of them in the first half alone. That scoring kept Indiana alive on the road. And when the Dream tightened up their defense, she adjusted, finding teammates, blocking shots, doing anything to keep the momentum from collapsing. Against constant pressure, Mitchell refused to fade. Her relentless drive,
Attacking from the outside and now the inside. Now Mitchell's been quiet for a while, not anymore. Mitchell over to Boston. Again, the shot clock winding down. Mitchell, tough shot off the bounce to get around Jones.
2 steps behind the three-point line and the dribble handoff for.
And then there was Aaliyah Boston in the paint, writing her own story. Matched up with Bree Jones, she absorbed hit after hit down low, but never lost her composure. On paper, Jones had the size advantage. But Boston neutralized it with timing, positioning, and a growing mastery of how to seal defense.
This is just 4 of 16 from the floor in game 2. That's terrific ball into Boston.
Her stat line, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. But the numbers barely tell the story. Every rebound was in traffic. Every assist created a shot Indiana desperately needed. Boston wasn't just holding her ground. She was anchoring an undersized, undermanned team with poise well beyond her years.